Watching news at Prime, let's bring you this now. Residents in some parts of Johannesburg have been without water for days due to the Zuikerbosch system outage. Rainwater says the outage is part of its planned maintenance and it's expected to last until the 8th of January. Now, for more on the outage and which areas are most affected at this time, joining me is Rainwater spokesperson Makenosi Maroo. Good evening to you, Ms. Maroo. Thanks indeed for your time. Let's start with the outage at the moment. Which areas are most affected and when might water be restored there? I think that's a good place to start.
Good evening, Xoli, and good evening to your viewers, and thank you for having Rainwater on the show. Xoli, maybe just to give context where we are, what happened, we have undertaken a maintenance project. We started on Saturday, the 13th of December. We completed the first phase on Monday, which was yesterday at 4 a.m. So while the work has been successfully completed and on time, the system needs time to recover. Coming back to your question, which areas are impacted? We know that most parts of Johannesburg are impacted. We're talking about south of Johannesburg. We know that parts of north of Johannesburg are impacted, and also Midrand area, the Errand system is also impacted. And also some parts of Ekurhuleni, they are also impacted.
Yeah.
But it's not because we are not pumping. We are pumping at full capacity, but what's happening is just the system taking time to recover.
Yeah. High-lying areas, we understand that those will suffer most. Do you have a geographical sort of map of which areas might this be and any estimated time when these communities might have water? Because if you've not had water for a few days, you start getting very desperate.
That's true, Xoli, and we really understand the frustration as Rainwater. We're not taking this lightly. We took a decision to do the maintenance, and we communicated with municipalities. The reason why I'm mentioning municipalities is because Rainwater is a bulk water supply, as you know it. We supply water to the municipalities, the 3 metros and other small municipalities. So we have actually communicated, and the areas that are impacted, as I indicated, it's mainly Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni. Those are the 2 metros that are really impacted. And mentioning the areas as indicated, Midrand, the Errand reservoir is really impacted. Yeah. Also, some parts of Johannesburg, the north parts, Bryanston, other areas are impacted. But also the south, which is part of the South Hill Reservoir 1 and 2, they are also impacted. Yeah. But also, there have been underlying areas, if you recall, it's not for the first time, but some of the areas that I've mentioned that had challenges in the past. Yes, Rainwater has undertaken maintenance, but there are also underlying issues which we really need to be honest and be upfront about them.
We'll get into that because I think that you're prompting a very important reasoning behind this outage. In fact, it's linked to what I'm about to ask you next, and that is that this is going to happen in phases. Some people will probably bemoan the fact that this maintenance is taking place right in the middle of the festive break. People probably at home and they need to use lots of water to prepare for Christmas that's upon us. Could there have been any other time that you carry out this maintenance?
Well, we took a conscious decision when we decided that we're going to have maintenance in December and in January. We know that a lot of people are leaving the province. There is an argument around that. But also we know that it's a period where the demand is quite low around this time. We know that some of the industries are closing down. So there are not really a lot of activities and the demand for water is quite low. Hence the decision to have this major maintenance this time of the year. Right. That's the reason why Rainwater took this decision, yes.
Okay, underlying issues, very quickly, outline those for us because that's what you've prompted.
Look, I think it's also important that to indicate that I think there were interviews, before we even get to that, there were interviews saying we have these challenges because of a planned maintenance. these are not reasons. The reasons why we have planned maintenance is because we want to actually ensure that we have sufficient water supply to all our customers. But other areas, we have seen that there were in underlying issues even prior to this maintenance. We know that south of Johannesburg, we know that Bedfordview, east of Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, there've always been challenges around those two areas that I've mentioned. So clearly, we really need to stabilize the system, and we really need to commit to really maintaining our infrastructure as rainwater, as a bulk water supply, but also as municipalities who are really supplying end users with water.
Makenosi Maroo, let me leave it there with you for now. We know that this is going to happen in phases, and as I understand it, we're still on phase 1, only about to get to phase 2, which should be around the 19th or so. Am I correct?
That's correct. We're starting on the 19th with phase 2 at 6 p.m. We're going to be completing the second phase on the 21st of December around midnight.
All right. Thank you very much indeed.